A most hearty welcome to those of you whose tastes lean towards the bizarre. I am your host, Ross Pitt, joined as always by the super awesome and talented Wizzy Puff.
You kept it in.
Hello, and welcome to our beautiful podcast here tonight.
Our first painting portrays the last moments of life from a prankster who had gone too far. Sometimes revenge can go too far as well. This painting is from an author named Short Skirts and Explosions, and it is titled Not Funny. J. Pegasus. Welcome to the Fanfiction Gallery.
Bom bom.
Dum 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 dum. Chapter Dawn of the Living. Don't.
Cookies.
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 You a cookie monster?
I don't know. Kind of.
So, Wizzy, My Little Pony had a bit of a scary episode called 28 Pranks Later.
Oh, that's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, not in the episode, but yeah.
Yeah, you had mentioned that, and I thought it was a fic.
In the episode 28 Pranks Later, Rainbow Dash goes on a bit of a horrible spree of pranking. They start out sort of innocent enough, and then they kind of get worse and worse over time. She puts a brick in Big Mac's sandwich.
Oh?
Yeah, and that's like, you don't mess with a man's sandwich, dude.
Did it hurt his teeth?
That's not cool. Yeah.
Man, now...
Poor guy.
Now they're gonna look the gift horse in the mouth, and it's not gonna look pretty.
Yeah. So, everyone except Pinkie Pie really finds these pranks really annoying. Well, Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash, obviously. But the ponies eventually are able to get Pinkie Pie on their side. And they hatch a plan to prank Rainbow Dash.
Oh? Bet they get her good.
And Rainbow Dash hatches her own prank where she, gets a bunch of Philly Guide cookies and infuses them with rainbow liquid. So that when ponies eat them, their mouths will be rainbow. And it'd be super funny.
It's like putting paint inside of a pastry and feeding it to someone being like, ha! It's gonna color their mouth! Why are they twitching?
Yeah, well, here's... Rainbows are canonically really not nice to eat in the show. I believe they're spicy, really spicy.
Oh.
But perhaps it's a different sort of rainbow. Perhaps it's like just food coloring or something like that.
Huh.
But yeah, then something weird starts to happen. Pinkie Pie eats one of the cookies. I believe she's in on the prank.
In on Rainbow's prank or the big prank?
In on Rainbow's prank.
Oh, okay.
Or perhaps Rainbow already does it and she goes to Pinkie Pie's house to tell her. And then turns out Pinkie Pie eats the cookies. And it's super funny at first. And then Pinkie Pie gets all sick. And the whole town gets sick as well because they all ate the cookies.
Oh my god.
And they turn into flesh-eating zombies.
Oh boy.
You can probably tell where this is going. And I believe this fic is going to give us exactly the ending of the episode.
So, Wait,
What's up?
does the episode end that way, or are you just not telling me the end?
I'm just not telling you the end.
Okay.
It's a children's show. You could probably guess how it ends. The deranged townsfolk of Ponyville shambled under the moonlight, moaning and drooling as they closed in on the moonlit barn from all sides. Rainbow crumbs dribbled from their muzzles while they pushed and shoved at the doors and windows. Creak! One by one, the planks haphazardly nailed into the window frames gave way. Limp limbs and pale hooves poked through, groping at the hay-scented air as the pronounced moans resonated in undulating waves. While Scootaloo, Sweetie Belle, and Apple Bloom cowered in the center of the barn.
Aww.
Meanwhile, Rarity and Applejack shoved a wagon in front of the main door, and Rainbow Dash busied herself with shoving wagon wheels, crates of wood, and bales of hay against every window and door frame. Outside, the villagers continued their eerie, mindless chants. Cookies! Panting, Rainbow shoved another rickety stack of furniture into place. She twirled to face her fellow 5 survivors.
Okay, so I may have switched all the Philly Guide cookies for joke cookies that were supposed to make ponies' mouths rainbow, but somehow turned every pony into mindless cookie-eating zombies instead.
You know, the funny thing about this episode is that that's actually not a bad prank. I think that's kind of funny.
You think the zombie part is funny, or the mouth part is funny?
The mouth part.
Oh yeah, that would be funny.
Like, all of our other pranks are kind of awful, but that one's actually good.
I put
Rocks in the cookies. That would be more in line with the others.
Yeah. She flicked on a lamp and held it up in her hoof, illuminating a small patch of the barn's interior. Breathless, she stammered.
I figure we just hide out here until the effects wear off. And as long as no pony else eats the cookies, we'll be fine.
Just then, Rarity's voice came wavering, sickly from the far corner. That's lovely, darling, except for one thing. Limping, Rarity drifted into the lamplight, exposing an inexplicably disheveled mane, and muzzle covered with rainbow sprinkles. Hissing, she pointed a limp hoof forward. We've already eaten them. Wincing, a horrified Rainbow Dash drifted backwards, nearly bumping into a beady-eyed Applejack.
Looks like your prank up and backfired.
The farm mare wheezed, her muzzle awash with rainbow and drool.
Yeah!
Rainbow shrieked, flying towards the ceiling. The lamp fell from her grasp and landed on the hay-strewn floor of the barn. Rolling over, it revealed 3 uniformed crusaders with rainbow-splotched mouths. Scootaloo, Sweetie Belle, and Apple Bloom collectively wheezed, lumbering forward. Cookies! Rainbow Dash hugged herself, flying backwards as sweat and goosebumps spread like a plague across her fuzzy, shivering body. At the sound of a loud crash, she looked past her zombified companions. A mindless Applejack had bucked the wagon away from the front door. If she's so mindless, how was she smart enough to do that and let her fellow zombers in?
Well, she only recently ate the cookies. She may still have more intelligence than the rest of them.
But the narration is saying she's not the narration is saying she is mindless, though.
I don't know.
You can't win on this one, buddy.
I can win. I can do it. Just give me a few more hours.
The last barrier had been breached, and in marched the cookified horde of Ponyville, along with Spike, Twilight Sparkle, a grizzly bear, and every other living thing possessed by the tainted cookie's brain-numbing influence. Rainbow Dash gasped. She watched wide-eyed and breathless as the drooling ponies shambled in from all sides. The Pegasus shrank into a corner, picking up random cookie boxes and hugging them to her chest.
No, no!
She waved a shivering hoof.
Stay away! They're making you sick! You don't want these!
Pinky lurched at the head of the zombified wave. But we do. Twilight and Mrs. Cake limped at her side.
We want cookies.
Please, stop!
Rainbow was close to tears now.
I never meant for this to happen. It was just a harmless prank. It was supposed to be funny.
She cowered, clenching her teeth.
But this isn't funny at all.
Exactly. Pinky spontaneously broke character. Shuffling to a stop, she wiped the crumbs from her smiling muzzle. See, pranking isn't funny if no pony else is enjoying it.
I knew it. I love that this is how the fic ends, too.
Yep, that's it. Our next. In the meantime, Rainbow Dash was sighing heavily. Flapping her wings, she flew up a few feet from the ground.
I now know what I have to do. Good.
Twilight Sparkle stepped in.
Because I do hope you learned your lesson about cruel practical jokes.
If this is going where I think it's going, we are going to need to change that intro.
Oh, no.
Rainbow Dash grabbed a rusted shovel from the nearby wall and held it up high.
I'm sorry, Twilight.
She sniffed. Twilight blinked.
Huh?
Thwack! Her lavender skull caved in, splattering brain matter across Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy's gaping faces.
Why? She can't be out-pranked.
Oh, God. Twilight's dead.
Thought you could survive a shovel.
She just can't beat Rainbow's speed.
Accurate.
Rainbow was able to freaking tie a balloon around a pie and have that pie float up into the sky in the blink of an eye.
With
She's
the
very
balloon?
fast.
What did the balloon do?
Yeah, with the balloon. The balloon didn't do anything.
Sounds like it would
Except
slow her down.
float the pie up. Rainbow Dash doesn't like pies, fun fact.
Oh. That's interesting. But Pinky's devastated.
Oh, Pinky was devastated. That's a different episode, though. We'll get to that someday, I'm sure. Tears streaming, Rainbow Dash slammed and slammed and slammed the metal spade into Twilight's quivering neck space.
I love you, Twilight. I love all of you.
She sobbed, gnashing her teeth.
And I promise to bury each and every one of you here in Ponyville.
We haven't even gotten halfway, and I feel like this is already worse than a certain other Short Skirts and Explosions fic, The Witching Hour. That was, that was battle. Made sense as to why that was happening. And not to mention, that was, well, I don't want to spoil it, which is a first for me, I know. But, yeah, this is just mean.
This is, not accurate rainbow canon.
It is not. Granted, the episode didn't do a great job at it in the first place, but... Rainbow Dash was a little bit out of character.
A little bit too mean.
Yeah. Rainbow Dash! Fluttershy gasped, rainbow crumbs flying off her muzzle. Stop, thunk! Her eyes split apart, as did the rest of her skull, as the shovel came down with monumental force.
She's being powered by something supernatural.
No, I think she just has had enough. Watching all of your friends die might do that to you.
Oh, that's a good point. You know, I wasn't even actually thinking of this as her thinking her friends were just dead.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate.
I would go insane if they did this to me. Don't prank me by making me think you're dead.
It's going to be really funny when I do this to Ross, guys. I'm going to record it, and it's going to be on the podcast. And then there's going to be the aftermath where Ross is, like, beating me to death with a shovel.
You'll deserve it. At that point, I am no longer liable to whatever I do.
Yeah, you got to tell that to the police.
It's okay, Fluttershy.
Rainbow hissed, yanking the battered shovel out, then uppercutting Pinkie Pie with equal savagery. Clang!
I'll make it quick and painless.
Whang! Cheerly's teeth flew against the barn wall. Oh, God.
Cheerilee was there, Jesus.
Oh, everybody in Ponyville is.
Why aren't they stopping her?
She's too fast for them.
My God.
Whatever's left to think of inside, you all won't feel a thing.
Whack! Big Macintosh's meaty body fell to the ground, quivering.
I promise.
Gah!
Sweating bullets. It's a good name for a pony. Sweating bullets. Applejack charged up and stomped her hooves.
Rainbow, quit it! Put down that shovel!
You're right.
Rainbow frowned, tossing the instrument away.
It's too blunt a weapon.
Shing! She yanked a gigantic scythe off from the ceiling beam directly overhead. God.
Only one way to stop zombies in their tracks.
No. Swoosh! She flew into the crowd, eyes flaring.
Remove their heads! Rah!
Shlunk! Spike's skull flew off, trailing blood in an arch. Shlunk! Mr. and Mrs. Cake's craniums rolled across the floor and came to a rattling stop beside a pair of sobbing infants. No!
Jesus! This is so graphic and so unnecessarily cruel.
On it. Why would you do this, SS and E?
This is definitely a baby pony torture fic.
Yep. Baby pony death, yay. Slink.
Rarity, I'm scared.
Sweetie Belle wailed, staining the hay beneath her yellow. Ew. That's too far.
Hay is yellow.
You're right. Rainbow Dash! Rarity shrieked. What's gotten into you? She gestured at the herd of fleeing, screaming ponies. Don't you see what's going on here?
I do.
Rainbow Dash snarled.
They're adapting.
She tossed the scythe aside and flew towards a wooden locker across the barn.
Melee weapons are too slow. Gotta make sure they don't run off and infect any other towns.
You know what, Rainbow Dash? You're an idiot. You're a fucking stupid idiot.
It's easier for her to accept that they're really zombies still, and they're just adapting, rather than thinking that she got out-pranked.
Rainbow Dash, you're an idiot, but I respect it.
You know what I want to see? The pony who didn't like musicals.
Yeah.
Someone make it.
I support you in this endeavor.
Thank you.
With a grunt, she kicked the box open and pulled out a shotgun, pumping it.
For Equestria!
Blam! Blam! Pow! Bang! Fountains of blood baptized the screaming villagers. The ponies stampeded for the door, tripping and stumbling over one another in sheer panic. They formed a dog pile that blocked the only exit from the barn.
Were you doing more of like a different narrator voice earlier?
Yeah. Kind of evolved once they revealed that they're...
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah. It became less serious and then still serious, but I don't know how to classify this.
Yeah. Before I thought it was like a good narrator for like a Night of the Living Dead type scenario. But I get why you switched it.
They formed a dog pile that blocked the only exit from the barn. Some pony, Scootaloo whimpered and wheezed. She looked at Applejack and Applebloom, both of whom were kneeling by the decapitated bodies of Big Mac and Granny Smith in a shocked stupor. Do something.
I am, Squirt!
You know, I'll give Short Skirts and Explosions credit. They haven't killed kids yet in this story.
Up to where we have read.
I think it's gonna happen, but like if they really want to be mean,
wait,
go all the way.
Did she do anything to Sweetie Belle?
I don't think so. 1 second.
Oh, wait, does she think that they're
No.
not zombies?
Maybe.
I just realized because she didn't actually... I thought she was going to shoot them, but then there was no scene with that. She just, I guess, thought they were on her side?
No. I think... Oh, no, yeah. I thought that she killed Applejack, but I guess maybe not.
Oh, yeah.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
Maybe it's because they were, as you said earlier... Maybe it's because they turned so recently.
Yeah.
Rainbow Dash dropped the shotgun and kicked over a barrel of kerosene before picking up a lantern.
I've got the horde right where I want them.
She tossed the flaming object at the wall of pony flesh, clamoring to flee the building.
Burn in Tartarus, you cookie-loving undead.
Vroom! The whole barn lit up in a hellish blaze. The acrid smell of roasted pony flesh filled the building. Sweetie Belle was a sobbing mess. Her teary eyes reflected flakes of roasted skin, filling up every wooden crevice of the place. As her ears echoed with the wailing shrieks of the dying, she looked over at Rarity. The fashionista was trotting over to where Rainbow Dash had dropped the shotgun. With a deadpan expression, she pressed the barrel to her muzzle and blam! Fuck.
Wait, did she kill herself?
I guess.
She had the shotgun.
That's...
She could have stopped Rainbow.
I guess it was too much for her.
It makes sense, but just like Sweetie Belle's right there. Come on. Rarity wouldn't do this.
Rarity is a selfish cunt. Hold on, I already said cunt this year. Can't do that again. Rarity is a selfish C word.
Cookie-loving undead.
Yes, that's it. Rarity is a selfish cuck.
Her and Prince Blueblood are into that.
A fresh curtain of blood bathed Scootaloo's right side. She instantly retched, vomiting up both her lunch and dinner.
Ah!
Rainbow gasped, spotting the upchucking filly.
Oh no! Scootaloo!
Whoosh! She flew down and cradled the trembling pony. Oh, this is it. Okay, we get it now.
You're already turning. I was too late to save you!
Oh no. Save me? Scootaloo's pupils shrank as she stared numbly over Rainbow's shoulder. Mommy, Daddy, don't want to see anymore.
Shh.
Rainbow cradled Scootaloo's body, sniffling.
It's okay, champ. It's okay.
Oh, now you're gonna make me cry. She nuzzled the filly close.
With your last cognitive thoughts, know that the awesome heroics we've done here today will save all of ponydom.
As the blaze spread across the barn, Scootaloo could barely squeak in reply. She didn't notice as Rainbow Dash dragged the shotgun from Rarity's corpse.
Shh. Yes, that's it. Just relax, Scoots. It'll all be over soon.
Mm-hmm. Rainbow Dash patted the filly scout's back. She looked towards the other side of the barn.
Go into the corner, Sweetie Belle. Shh. Don't look, kiddo.
Numb. Sweetie Belle turned tail and did just that. What happened to Apple
Oh my
Bloom?
God.
Did she die?
I don't know. What did happen to Apple Bloom? Oh, that was she the one that was lit on fire with the rest of the apples? Who did she light on fire?
Well, half the town. They were kneeling by the decapitated bodies of Big Mac and Granny Smith. That's the last I saw of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last we saw of them. I think they're still alive. Numb, Sweetie Belle turned tail and did just that. Chunks of ceiling and support beams fell, spitting up sparks and embers. The flames inched closer and closer, flickering around Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo. Rainbow rocked the foal gently, humming a lullaby while stealthily cocking the shotgun one last time and putting it to both their heads.
I'm glad to be with you, Scootaloo.
Rainbow Dash smiled, a soot-stained tear trickling down her muzzle, kissing hot iron.
Here, at the end of all cookies.
Blam! Author's note. We got a gif of the one scene where very accurately portrayed in this fic. Rainbow Dash is looking around and then she drops the lamp. She notices Applejack, or Rarity and then Applejack, and then drops the lamp. Yeah.
Yo.
For what it's worth, I thought it was an adora-cute episode, and I loved it. Fna. And that was Not Funny.J Pegasus by Short Skirts and Explosions.
This was rancid. Just the tags do not do it justice.
I'll be honest, I thought when I realized it was where we were going, I expected more of the babies to die.
Me too.
Not even the two twins were killed, as far as we saw.
The twins?
Shocking.
What twins?
The infants that were crying next to Mr. and Mrs. Cake's bodies.
Oh, well, those guys are definitely going to die, though. They're infants.
Probably. But we didn't see it.
True.
And so when I figured out where this was going, I expected that to happen.
So she did burn Apple Bloom alive, right?
No. Well, not that we know.
She lit the barn on fire, and that was where the bodies were that she was crying over.
Hold on one second. So I think the bodies were a bit more inward in the barn, and the others were trying to get out of the barn, and that was closer to the door of the barn.
Yeah, but the whole thing went on fire. Especially if she...
Like, it's all gonna burn down, yes,
yeah.
But...
She burned the exit first.
Rainbow Dash didn't think that they were turned yet. So I think she would have made note of it if they had died.
Hold on. Where's the apple bloom scene?
The last thing we see of them is she looked at Applejack and Apple Bloom, both of whom were kneeling by the decapitated bodies of Big Mac and Granny Smith in shocked stupor.
So yeah, they were by the bodies that were inside the place that was being lit on fire, so I don't know.
But they're all inside the place that's being lit on fire.
She probably thought they were worth the sacrifice, because she had the whole horde in there. She was like, I won't get another chance, I need to light them on fire. And that could have been it.
Look, I'm not going down on this one, man. I do not think she lit them on fire. I think they were too far inward, because nobody was trying to escape at that point. She killed Granny Smith and Big Mac. At the very least, Big Mac.
But the whole barn was lit on fire. Being further in would make it more dangerous.
Yes, the point is, they didn't die yet.
Okay.
They're all going to die, yes, but on screen, they don't die. They're still alive the last we see of them.
Technically, the same is true about Scoodle and Rainbow Dash.
That Blam definitely gives us a good idea of what happens to them.
What if she missed?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe she missed. I don't know. I'm just going to say they die, because we need at least one baby pony death. Come on.
Well, I was trying to give you some.
So this story does something that I have a problem with nowadays. And maybe it's because I used to do it. I used to enjoy this when I was an edgy teenager. And it is just a me thing, really. But killing innocent people in really gory and awful ways for the sake of comedy is not funny to me anymore. I first noticed it when watching Cocaine Bear. I was just watching it and going, I'm not enjoying this. And it's clear that the scenes were supposed to be at least amusing, but it was just really mean.
It's like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah. I actually don't mind the story. But it's not my favorite. Of the baby pony torture death fics we've read, it's gonna go down at the bottom, I think. At the very least, closer to the bottom than most other baby pony death torture fics.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, fics that involve baby pony torture death. So, that was that. Our next painting, submitted for your approval, deals with immortality. And who hasn't imagined what it would be like to live forever? But what happens when you finally reach your limit? This painting is by an author named Gimmick66, and it is titled Immortal Coil. Chapter, in which Celestia and Luna try to end immortality's reign over them. Isn't that what happens in frickin', what's it called, Continue?
Oh yeah. Spoilers!
We've already read this story. Twilight, if there's one thing I've learned in all my long years, it's patience. I know you want this to be resolved quickly, but sometimes you just have to let it play out on its own time. She demurely sipped her tea.
Demure, oh no. It's relevant.
God damn it.
But Princess Celestia, there's just so much.
Twilight, shh. Take a deep breath and let it out. Deep breath and out. Better? Some things take time, my student. You can't rush what can't be rushed.
Okay, thank you, Princess.
Twilight hugged Celestia and bowed before flying off. Celestia smiled and waved until her protege was out of sight, and then turned from the balcony and trudged into the darkness of her bedroom. She moped around for a few minutes before deciding to take a walk. Wait a minute, Rainbow Dash did die!
Rainbow Dash did die?
Rainbow Dash died in the story. So at least part of what I was of the beginning of that was right. They were her last moments.
Oh, I see. Oh.
Maybe that does work.
Huh.
We'll discuss it later. The day was bright, the birds were chirping, and the scent of summer wafted through the air. Her hooves clicked lethargically on the stone floor. She slouched as she entered the castle garden. Somewhere near a fountain she stopped and took a deep breath, inhaling the smell of flowers. Standing there, listlessly, she lifted her head to the sky and watched a few wandering clouds roll by. A burst of scorching pain erupted from her left eye, and almost instantaneously her right. All went black. Her body went limp, and she felt herself tipping over. Then she felt nothing. Well, that's nice.
Okay.
A ghostly figure of the princess appeared and lazily floated in the garden. It looked down at the dead white alicorn. It considered it. The dead alicorn lay on its side and looked like it was sleeping, if not for the arrow piercing its skull and the pool of blood slowly spreading beneath its head. The ghost alicorn nodded in acceptance. Fair shot, it mused. It watched a midnight blue alicorn saunter over with a crossbow floating at her side. She nudged the dead alicorn with her hoof a few times. She looked at the ghost.
Anything?
I'm afraid not. Still a ghost.
Drat!
Yes. It was a good shot, Luna, Celestia conceded.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
I appreciate the decision to go through both eyes.
Yes, I find the whole shoot 'em right between the eyes approach to be tedious and cliché. Fortunately, Pony's skull structure allows for some creativity.
Oh, yeah. Quite. So, what's the rest of your day look like? Luna shrugged.
Lounge, I suppose. Might read some comic books, then turn in.
Very well. I'm going to float around the garden some, and then I'll be on my way.
Very good, sister. See you tomorrow.
Luna nodded and left the garden. Celestia drifted around for a while, absently reveling in her diaphanous self. Eventually, she no longer felt interested in being there, and dissipated into the early afternoon air. 18 days later. Celestia munched sincerely on her pancakes. The morning sun had just crept over the horizon, and the princess felt a calmness wash over her. A few morning birds chirped beyond the windows. The double door at the side of the breakfast hall opened, and Luna trudged in, tired from her night's work. "Good morning, sister," Celestia greeted brightly.
I suppose.
"Oh, Luna,"
Grumpy.
Luna replied weakly. "Rough night, huh?"
I can deal with nightmares easily enough. I just can't stand all the romantic dreams. Especially amongst the pubescent type. Ugh!
Ugh.
Right? You never really think about her having to go into people's dreams like that.
I mean, I've thought about it. Just not amongst the pubescent type. Ugh. Sounds terrible.
It always is.
Well, have some breakfast with me before you turn in, won't you?
Yes, I do feel a bit peckish.
Luna sat at the other end of the table and floated some nearby food her way. She munched absently and drank sparingly, careful not to overdo it. She conversed lightly with her sister for a few minutes. Suddenly, she stopped, and a very worried look spread over her face. "Is something wrong, Luna?" Celestia asked, genuinely. She coughed and winced in pain. She clutched her stomach, and her body began to shake. She lurched forward, front hooves on the table, her eye wide with fear. Her body heaved and retched as though she were going to vomit. Her belly expanded rapidly.
Oh no, not one of these
Except
fics.
we were getting this kind of fetish. But I can make it work. Her belly expanded rapidly. Blood spilled from her mouth and snout. Organs gurgled up in her throat as her abdomen exploded, splattering the immediate area in blood, flesh, and other messy bits of pony. She collapsed on the table, a few organs plopping from her gaping maw. Her eyes stayed open, but the life faded quickly. Then she was no more. Celestia stood from her chair and walked over to her newly departed sister. She inspected the carnage.
Breakfast was never my favorite meal.
Ghost Luna said, rising from the corpse, which made it very difficult to pull this off. This was one of my first plans, but I couldn't be too eager. I had to wait so long.
I can imagine. Your patience is admirable. I would have been suspicious otherwise. By the way, you have some red on you.
She tapped her cheek. Oh, thank you. She floated a napkin to her and produced a small mirror. Do you think it too gruesome? She asked, wiping the speck of blood from her face.
A tad. Should the day come I actually do die, I hope it is with more dignity, and I am found in a more natural state.
Agreed. Well, I can cross that one off the checklist at least. Your breakfast shall be poison-free from now on.
Very good. In which item was the poison hidden?
Luna inquired, scanning the bloodied food. All of it.
Good thinking. Well, on that note, I believe I shall take to haunting the library. I hear a group of 2 more studious citizens are convening there, and I'd like to have some fun with them.
Celestia giggled. Very well. Enjoy. Luna floated off, and Celestia went back to her breakfast. Ah, that reminds me when my mother tried to poison me.
Oh, do tell.
Okay, so there is some backstory there.
Oh no, this sounds more real.
It was my first day at the Disney College program, staying in my new room, and my mother, we were in a hurry because we were getting to one of the theme parks, and my mother just grabbed some food for me to eat, and this is known in my family, but it's not it's very recent development, and it hasn't actually been diagnosed, but I am allergic to bananas.
Oh.
At the very least, I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to bananas. There's something about them. I don't die. It's not bad or anything. I can eat them, but my throat gets real scratchy whenever I do, and I just don't like them.
Dang.
It's not worth eating them.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. My mother accidentally grabbed a banana muffin. Well, not accidentally. She did it on purpose.
She was like, "This
so
is
that
so
I could
funny."
eat a banana muffin. She just forgot that I was allergic to bananas. Because I lived like most of my life not thinking I was allergic to bananas. Wondering why the hell people ate bananas, but I did it anyways. So yeah. She gave me it and I ate a bit of it, and then I was like, "Mother, what's in this?" And she was like, "Banana?" And I'm like, "Are you trying to poison me?" And then we all had a big laugh of it, and I died.
Yeah, your throat started closing up and the laugh started sounding a bit off.
Yeah.
You're like, "Good thing you waited so long. I would have been suspicious otherwise, Mother."
Thankfully, I'm not allergic. I'm not like severely allergic to bananas.
Nice.
So you could still
But
eat
during
it.
the Disney College program, I met one other person who had an allergy to bananas.
Dang.
It's a very rare allergy.
Huh.
I thought it would have been a little bit more common.
It might be more common, but I've only met the one other person.
Yeah.
And we were just like She asked for a strawberry Nutella crepe because she was allergic to bananas, or the Nutella crepe was a banana Nutella crepe. But she said she was allergic to bananas, and I was like, oh my god, you're allergic to bananas? I'm allergic to bananas. Really, it was cute. 5 days later, Luna glided down the hall, careful not to touch the floor. Celestia was a light sleeper, and Luna needed her to remain asleep. She reached Celestia's room and silently jimmied the lock. With practiced patience, she opened and closed the door without a sound. With masterful stealth, she reached Celestia's bed to find the princess sleeping soundly. Gently, she placed a magic dampener on Celestia's horn, with the care of an archaeologist moving a fragile ancient artifact. She tied with silken rope all 4 of Celestia's hooves to the corresponding bedposts. Luna, I guess we're doing this fetish now.
Oh my god.
She straddled her sister's waist and quickly inspected her work. It would have to do. She produced a jagged 10-inch knife and plunged it into the middle of her sister's chest. Celestia woke up screaming in agony, much to the dismay of Luna, who was sawing open Celestia's midsection. While Luna had hoped the incision would have been a straight one, Celestia's thrashing about caused the knife to take an indirect path downward. Having finally made a long enough cut, Luna used her magic to pull open the flesh, exposing the innards of Celestia. Luna plucked an organ from the hole, using the knife to sever its ties. She inspected it as though she was conducting research. Celestia could barely see through the tears and blinding pain, but she still watched helplessly as her sister methodically removed organ after organ. Blood pooled on the bed, ruining the sheets, which only added to Celestia's pain. Having removed most organs, Luna watched as her sister began to twitch and shake, no longer capable of squirming around. With her hoof, she reached into the chest cavity, behind her lungs to the heart. With a yank, she removed the heart and placed it on Celestia's chest. The eyes of the Sun Princess began to close, staring at the heart in front of her as it stopped beating. Just as she was about to lose consciousness, she saw Luna lean forward with the knife and felt the cold blade slice across her throat. If these two weren't sisters, this would kind of be hot.
Whoa!
Man, that's the kind of fetish story you wanted?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm fine with like
I've
murder
seen this
and
dynamic work before.
forced surgery and stuff, but incest, that's where I draw the line.
It's gross.
Yeah, the other parts
I
aren't.
don't know what to tell you. Wizzy, we live in the modern age.
We're accepting of murderers in this day and age. It's 2024.
We can take a little bit of forceful surgery and exploding chests. But sister kissing sister? Yuck.
I'll admit I'm behind with the times.
Luna relaxed and climbed off her sister and out of the bed. Does some pony have some pent-up aggression? Celestia's ghost asked, floating to the other side of the bed.
Maybe.
Luna shrugged.
It just came to me.
It honestly looks like a crime scene out of a detective novel or something.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Huh. I never planned that. What a wonderful surprise.
Admittedly, I am a bit concerned about your method. I think you may have enjoyed that too much. Anything you wish to discuss? Luna gave it some thought and sighed.
Perhaps it was emulation? Subconscious emulation. Too many hours reading about serial killers, I suppose. It won't happen again.
No judgment on my part, just as long as you keep it between us.
Yes, of course.
A silence fell over the room as they gazed at the dead body. Still on dream patrol tonight? Asked Celestia.
Oh, yes. I'll keep it light. Maybe a dozen or so.
All right, then. I guess I'll just float around here until midnight. She looked at her grandfather clock. Won't be too long.
Okay, sweet dreams, sister. See you in the morning.
The next day, Luna sat on the wicker lounger reading an article in a magazine about the latest shakeup in numismatics. She idly sipped on some tea and was actually enjoying the hazy sunlight through thick cirrus clouds. The soft patter of hooves told her Celestia was approaching. Good evening, sister, Celestia chimed.
Yes, it is.
What you readin'? Celestia sidled up next to Luna. Celestia said, feigning interest when she read the headline. She waited for Luna to finish reading. How courteous. Sister, what's on your mind?
How did you know?
You're reading about numismatics. You always turn to currency when something is bothering you. Celestia, you're a great sister.
Right? Right before she kills her, but, like, that's maybe a part that makes her an even better sister.
I mean, if we could all kill our siblings, we would at least once. Without consequence. Like, without consequences, and they would live at the stroke of midnight or whatever. Again. They would live again at the stroke of midnight.
That'd be fun.
That would be so much fun. It would hurt like hell, though.
Yes.
She sighed.
Despite my brief entanglement with the pleasures of butchery, I find myself no more content or placated. I am only more convinced we will persist through the ages. The thought leaves me unsettled.
I understand. She hugged her sister, nuzzling her cheek.
With each attempt, I feel the act becomes more futile. If 1,000 years on the moon didn't kill me, I don't know what will.
Yes, I thought surely that would have worked.
They were still playing the game then. Nice.
You interrupted my turn when you did that.
Yes, I apologized for that. A brief silence followed.
Does Cadence know?
Yes, I told her a few years ago. She's killing Flurley. No! Flurry, my child.
I'm assuming this is adult Flurry. It has to be.
It better be. We can't have Flurry going through that as a kid.
Why would she do that? Why? This has to be just like a mother-daughter bonding thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Alright. She's killing Flurry nearly once a week now. Shining Armor has also agreed to participate, usually in retaliation for when she kills Flurry. Or sometimes during their amorous activities.
They are truly the paragon of familial love and loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Does Twilight know?
Goodness, no. She's not mentally ready for that kind of revelation. And Flurry is. Remember that.
What the heck?
Yes, of course.
Another brief silence.
Do you think we'll ever find a way?
We have to die sometime, Luna. I'm sure we'll figure it out. She shifted a bit, moving her cheek down Luna's neck, nuzzling a bit as she went. In an abrupt motion, she dipped her chin and thrust upwards, her horn piercing near the top of Luna's throat. With a little more effort, her horn pushed to the top of Luna's skull. Luna struggled, her front legs kicked out, trying to find purchase as Celestia lifted her a bit, blood trickling down Celestia's horn, dripping every which way off her face. We just have to keep trying, my dear sister. Luna made a weak gurgling noise before her body went limp. Wizzy, let's hear that weak gurgling noise. The soft patter of blood dripping on the floor echoed throughout. We just have to keep trying. The end. That was Immortal Coil by Gimmick68. Well, that sure is something.
Gimmick68 coming out here making a story that I did not think would be this good.
Yeah, I rather liked it. These two stories that we've read today are kind of the antithesis of each other. If I'm using that word right. The death in that story and the other one in something.j Pegasus. That's so final, you know? So mean-spirited. This one felt anything but mean-spirited.
That's so true, actually.
Despite the very dark subject matter, it's very light-hearted.
Yeah, they use it as a bonding activity. It's actually an awesome idea.
Yeah. If I could bond with my siblings by murdering them senselessly.
Yeah,
I don't like to think about this, actually. Never mind.
That was what I was going to ask you at the end, was if you and me were both immortal and we, could do this, would you agree to do it?
I would kill you every day, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we take turns. We take turns, right?
Right. Every other day, I guess. I kind of wish there was more of this.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I liked the gruesome deaths that weren't so final. It could have fun with it.
Yeah.
And not be such a bummer.
I also like the idea of just, being able to be a ghost after being killed for a little while. It's like, oh.
Yeah,
man,
that would be fun.
It's going to float around and haunt people for a short period before going back to my mortal life. Not mortal. My material life. Because I'm a material girl.
Would be awesome. Also, cover art by Gimmick68. Good job on the cover art.
That is.
Don't always get the cover arts actually done by the authors themselves, so I liked it.
What is Celestia holding, though? Is that poison?
I think that's poison.
Ah, very nice.
I also now noticed that there isn't a horror tag on here.
Oh.
Which I could have sworn I put in when searching for a comedy, dark, gruesome, violent one. Was it you or me who found this one?
I sent the link, so.
Okay. I guess it was you. Wizzy.
I'm surprised that the other one doesn't have violence and death, though. But it has horror, which the other one doesn't.
Wait, really? Short skirts and explosions. Oh, it was 2016, never mind.
Is that before they had violence and death?
I think it was before they had the death tag, at least.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it might have been before they had any of the... No, definitely, except for... No. No, porn was added later. Sex was always there.
That's a good distinction to add.
Yeah. I did not expect to like this story as much as I did. I really do like it. Good job. If I were to give it a rating, I would give it at least there's no baby pony deaths out of 100, which is very high.
Nice. I'd give it 110 out of 100. Because that's how many people have voted on it.
Nice. All right. Gimmick68, good job. And thank you all for experiencing the true terror of the Fanfiction gallery. Ooh. Join us next time as we jump into the painting like an epic Mickey, rebrushed on Steam now.
If blue skadoos, we can too.
Damn it. Rule of threes. There's got to be another one out there. Mario 64.
Let's-a go.
Let's go. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
And now I'm gonna get a allergy pill.
Oh, on the recording. Are you sure you should do this?
Yeah.
Because you know those are definitely a controlled substance.
I do what I want.
Yeah,
They can't come get me.
that's the spirit.
If they
F the police.
bust me for this, it'll be a hate crime.
God.